Greetings, my friends. It is my pleasure to bring you another Cartoon Clash episode. Luckily, I don't have many long comments to make before the video starts, so let's get to it. Also, stick around to the end because it'll show some fan art that my adoring fans have made. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. While Nintendo and all the big name companies are the main games people talk about, there are always indie companies that rise from nothing to being the companies that created some of the best video games. These two characters today represent that to a T. They are Cuphead, the cartoon from Inkwell Isle, and Shovel Knight, the blue burrower. I'm DJ Man, and it's my job to analyze both characters to see who would win a cartoon clash. First, some quick rules. I'm allowing Shovel Knight to have 150 magic since one of his armors lets him do that. And Cuphead will have access to all of his weapons, charms, and supers. Alright, let's get into the research. Old-timey cartoons have been a treasure in the realm of animation, but what if you took that and put it into a video game? That's how we got Cuphead. In the game, Cuphead and his pal Mugman go to the casino and soon make a bet with the devil, and bet their souls for all the riches of the casino. But they lose. Begging for their life, they make a deal, and if the two can get the soul contracts from the devil's past debtors, then he will spare them. Well, after doing that, they decide they aren't going to do his bidding and beat him up, saving everyone from the devil. To do this, Cuphead had to fight characters the size of buildings. While there isn't much else to say about his strength, this feat alone is pretty powerful. Now for his durability. For being a cup, he can survive a lot. He can resist being turned to stone, can completely negate the damage of some attacks with his parry, regularly takes being burned, crushed, stabbed, and all kinds of things from giant enemies, and he can take attacks from the actual devil. But what he's most known for is his speed and dodging. He can react to cannon fire, and cannonballs travel at 193 miles per hour, according to a handy-dandy Google search. He can also keep up and continue fighting while riding on a roller coaster or riding on a train. He can avoid homing attacks and continue fighting, and can use his dash to avoid objects and stay airborne. But his most impressive feat is dodging lightning from this crab or lobster named Captain Crustacean. I read the wiki and it is in fact lightning, and you can't argue with that. As we remember from Hitmonchan vs. Lil Mac, we know this is massively hypersonic, which is pretty darn fast. Now on to his abilities. I already mentioned his parry and dash, so let's move on to his types of bullets. First he has the pea shooter, which isn't like the pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies, the characters of which may or may not be in a future episode, wink wink. This pea shooter is a pretty basic, fast shooting weapon, and the special move is a big blue fireball. Next is the spread shot, which is what it sounds like, and the special is an attack where red giant bullets shoot from all angles. Then there's the roundabout, which shoots forward and then goes backward like a boomerang, and does more damage than the pea shooter. The special move is a giant version of it that goes back and forth. Then the lobber, which goes forward a bit, then goes down, and again the special is a big version of it. Next is the charge shot, which is what it sounds like, and the special move is like the spread shot, except it's more just a big explosion. And finally, the chaser, which shoots a bunch of green homing stars. The special move is where Cuphead surrounds himself in the bullets as a shield. Then he has his charms and super attacks. His charms include the Parry Sugar, Smoke Bomb, Coffee, which is something I use too, the Heart/Twin Heart, and Whetstone. Then his supers are the Energy Beam, which is where he shoots a liquid beam from his head. I'm not sure if it's milk or vodka or what, but it's some sort of white, clear liquid. Considering Mugman has drank himself before, I'm gonna hope it's milk. Then his Invincibility, which makes him invincible for a few seconds. And finally, the Ghost Attack, which has the ghost follow Cuphead and attacks enemies. Whew, we finally got through that massive arsenal. Now, while Cuphead has many weapons and good speed, he doesn't have much physical strength or close-range options. He's also rather brash considering he made that deal with the devil without thinking. But Cuphead is powerful, and he's definitely not going down without a fight. Shovel Knight was an adventurer with his partner Shield Knight. They traveled around the lands and were the perfect team. However, one day at the Tower of Fate, during a battle against the Remnant of Fate, it collapses and Shield Knight is presumed dead. Shovel Knight, now sad, goes to live a quiet life of farming. But then he decides to go back to the tower and defeat the Remnant of Fate. As he went through his adventure, he had to defeat the Order of No Quarter, who are a powerful group of knights. To do this, he needed a lot of strength. With his trusty shovel, he can shatter skulls, break through walls of brick, stone, and metal, can leap through the air even though he's wearing armor. But most importantly, he defeated the Enchantress when she was possessing Shield Knight. And remember, Shield Knight survived the Tower of Fate collapsing. Spoiler alert. This collapse was felt through the land. Next is his durability. He can tank cannonballs that are the same size as him, bombs, and missiles. He can also be launched across the map with a catapult and not take damage from it somehow. And again, he's comparable to Shield Knight who survived the Tower of Fate collapse. For speed, he's able to outrun cannonballs, which like I said before is 193 miles per hour, and that's with his armor on. He can react to missiles and even lightning attacks from certain enemies. I can't imagine how fast he is without armor on. Now for his massive arsenal. Don't worry, I'll try to make this quick. He has the Shovel Blade, which is his main weapon and can reflect projectiles and pogo on enemies. Then he has his armors, which I'm not really using in this fight since I'd have to recolor the sprites, but to make it so he has full access to his arsenal, I'll let him have the effects of the armor that increases his mana. Now for his relics. He has the Flare Wand, which shoots a fireball, the Phase Lockout, which makes him invincible for a few seconds, the Dust Knuckles, which punt through dirt and rock, the Chaos Spear, which bounces around to hit enemies, the Propeller Dagger, which lets him glide for a bit, the Throwing Anchor, which throws a purple anchor at an upward angle, and the Mobile Gear, which he can ride along the ground over spikes. Then the War Horn, which is a powerful weapon that damages everything around him, and the Triple Chalices, I probably pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry, which lets him fully heal himself and restore mana, absorb money for 60 seconds, or make him invincible for 10 seconds. Now with his massive arsenal and experience, he's a powerful knight. However, his relics have a limit based on how much magic he has. His chalices are also one use only. He can also be stubborn due to how he was solely focused on getting back to the Tower of Fate, and some of his relics are situational, such as the Alchemy Coin and Fishing Rod, which I didn't mention. Shovel Knight is really strong despite his odd choice of weaponry, and he'll be hard to take out. Alright, the combatants have been analyzed. It's time for a cartoon clash.
A brawl is surely brewing. It's on!
poor Cuphead. I guess we have to call him Cup, since he lost his head. Anyway, this fight was a bit hard to figure out, since one character is close range and the other is long range. But overall, I was able to figure it out. For strength and durability, it goes to Shovel Knight because of the Tower of Fate collapse. Remember that this caused an earthquake that was felt all the way through the village. Since the Tower of Fate collapsing caused this earthquake causing that big of a radius, it would be equal to town level. Now if you're wondering what this talk of street level and town level and building level is, I'll make a video sometime on it. Anyway, like I said before, Cuphead has building level attack power and building level durability due to the bombs and building sized enemies hitting him. And building is much lower than town level, giving Shovel Knight the strength and durability advantage. Next is speed. Since they both have dodged lightning, and those are their highest feats for speed, they are equal in this category. However, due to Cuphead's dash and smoke bomb, he takes the agility and maneuverability advantage. While yes, Shovel Knight has a propeller dagger, which does the same thing as the dash pretty much, he can run out of magic to use this, and the smoke bomb is a better way of doing this anyway. Next is intelligence and experience. Cuphead never started fighting until he made the deal with the devil. His brashness is also a big downfall. This gives Shovel Knight more intelligence and experience. Now like I said, I have to take into account of the fact one is a ranged fighter and the other isn't really. This gives them both more advantages and disadvantages. Such as Shovel Knight having more physical options but less ranged options, and having slower attacks. However, even though this is the case, once Shovel Knight avoids his bullets with things like the propeller dagger, reflects some of the bullets with the shovel blade, and catches up to Cuphead due to their similar speed, he'll be able to win because of his massive strength advantage. Now for Shovel Knight's relics. While he can run out, it's still a better arsenal than Cuphead's, and he has much more hacks with things like the phase locket and how some of his weapons can go through walls, while Cuphead's can't. Shovel Knight can also heal himself, while Cuphead can't, which is terrible for Cuphead with his lower durability. Overall, because of Shovel Knight's effective relics and shovel blade, having both physical and some ranged options, his strength and durability, and his experience, Shovel Knight beats Cuphead. Looks like Cuphead couldn't keep ahead. The winner is Shovel Knight. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and before the trailer, I'm going to show you guys some fan art, then we'll get into the trailer.
It's getting freaky.